Most people looking to move to the 30A area, well, they're moving for this. They want the beaches and the restaurants, the bike rides, the walking everywhere. And it's not just that, it's the architecture, the lifestyle. There's a lot to 30A. And honestly, I think most of it's about the feeling of being on vacation without actually having to be on vacation. Well, can you blame them? 30A? 30A is beautiful. After helping thousands of people relocate here to the area, there's a few things that I noticed about 30A. Sometimes the dream of living on 30A isn't the dream that most people think it is. In fact, sometimes the beauty of 30A is living not on 30A, but right near it. And so sometimes living just north of 30A on Santa Rosa Beach is the better option. So today, I'm gonna show you exactly what that looks like. Let's get into it. What's going on? My name is Andrew Ironmonger, or of course you can call me Mongo, and I help people relocate to the Emerald Coast, including the 30A area. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand or think about when it comes to moving to the 30A area is that you don't have to live right on it to enjoy most of the benefits. There's a certain prestige and a certain luxury for living here on 30A for sure, but you're gonna pay a little bit of a penny for it. You know, it's gonna come at a cost. The price per square foot's gonna be higher. The overall cost of living is gonna be higher. Just a lot of that is going to be a lot higher than you might expect. So you're kind of trading square footage in your property for better walkability and being able to take your golf cart everywhere. Of course, being right next to all of the action. There's nothing wrong with that, but for a lot of people, living just a couple miles north of it might be a better option. One of the biggest things that I think gets really overlooked when somebody's choosing an area here on the Emerald Coast is exactly what the day-to-day lifestyle is going to be. They come here on vacation, they see everything that they want to see, they get to do all the things that they have to do or that they want to do, and that's great, except that when you're living here full-time, there are other things that matter as well. It's not just the vacation lifestyle from start to finish. You're now going to have to worry about errands and, you know, just day-to-day living. That means that things are, if you're living on 30A anyway, things are going to look a little bit more hectic. I'm sitting in a parking lot right here next to Ed Walleen, and it has been slam packed. So much to the point that they have a parking attendant. Now, this is by the Ed Walleen beach access, which means it's right next to Shunt Gullies, which is the parking lot here, and they don't want people parking here to go to the beach because it's a pretty small beach parking lot for that particular beach access. But the point is like these are the things that you've got to worry about when you're living here on 30A every single day. It means that your normal Tuesday, or in this case a Thursday, isn't going to go as smooth as maybe you might think it will be. And so I think that's why a lot of people end up choosing to go a little bit off of 30A. And of course, the prices are a little bit better too. See, here on 30A, you're going to pay a premium. You're going to pay a premium for all of this access. You're going to pay a premium for the aesthetic beauty, for all the boutique shops, for all of the boutique restaurants, and just to have access to everything and to be able to take your golf cart without having to jump in your vehicle at any point to be able to enjoy the downtown areas of 30A. And that's great, but some people don't want to pay the price tag for it. For some people, this kind of energy is awesome. And for other people, they want to be able to visit the energy when they want to. They want to be able to escape the energy whenever they're getting a little bit tired of that. They just want to have their own haven, their own retreat. At the end of the day, 30A is incredible. But because it's incredible, that means it's not invisible. You're going to feel how popular it is if you live down here. And so here's where I think the smarter question comes in play. And that smarter question is, do I need to actually live on 30A to enjoy it, or can I live nearby? Well, that's what we're going to show you today. For some people relocating to the area, something like this is going to be a heck of a lot better. Now, I happen to choose a townhome neighborhood, but when you're on the north side of 30A, hold on real quick, there's just this big old crane going on. This is so cool, right? Anyway, I happen to choose a townhome neighborhood to show you, but I'll show you a few more. You've got neighborhoods like this that are a lot more affordable, and we're 2 miles at most to the 30A area. So you can enjoy all of the things that 30A has to offer. You don't necessarily have to be in that price bucket. And you don't have to be engulfed in all of the action and the craziness and the tourism and all of that all the time. You can come here to a place like this and have a nice little retreat to run away from. So here where we're at, we're in North Santa Rosa Beach, and this just feels completely different than 30A does. It's slower here. You generally have a little bit more privacy. And, you know, when I'm not in a townhome neighborhood, you've got larger lots, usually. In fact, in most cases, at least for the dollar that you're going to spend, you're going to have to spend quite a lot more on 30A to get the same acreage or the same land as you do here in North Santa Rosa Beach. But the really cool thing is you're still minutes away. I mean, it took me from that busyness that I was just at, it took me maybe about 8 minutes to get up here, and I was stuck at a traffic light for 2 of those minutes. And the really cool thing about this area too is that you've got a lot higher of a chance to find something on different types of water. You know, so many people think of 30A and they think of the water and the water lifestyle, but the thing with 30A is that most of the water lifestyle is the beach, and that's awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same in all types of water. Here you've got bayous and creeks and canals and the bay, so you've got a lot of other access, and each one of those access points provides a different style, a different way to enjoy the water instead of just sitting on the beach in a beach chair with a nice cooler next to you. You know, maybe splashing around a little bit on the waves. If you go to something like the bayou or some canals, you can jump out on a paddleboard a little bit easier and kayaking and enjoy a little bit calmer water instead of the waves hitting you all the time. Now, you could still visit those beaches when you want to, but you don't have to be stuck with just that as your option. And in my opinion, I think this is a pretty good spot for people that want to live here full time. See, a lot of the people that live out at 38, there's definitely a really big chunk that lives there full time. But there's also a very large chunk that have second homes out there. They only visit during certain times and certain seasons. So if you're going to be living here full time, something like this is an awesome option for you. And it's not about being less prestigious or luxurious than 30A, because trust me, North Santa Rosa Beach has some gorgeous homes, as you guys will see next week actually. But it's more about fitting a certain lifestyle. You know, the lifestyle that says I want to use the water, not just look at it. I think that's one of the big differences. So if you're the kind of buyer whose dream isn't to just walk out to the beach every day, but your dream is to have usable water that you can enjoy year round, well, mostly year round. We do have a 2 to 3 week winter out here, if I can even call it that. But if that's sort of your style, the North Santa Rosa Beach might be a better option for you. You know, I think it'll be better if I just show you what I mean. So this is one of the many little parks and little spots to launch a kayak or paddleboard or something like that. And this is one of the advantages of being on the north side. First off, look how quiet it is. Right in the middle of a neighborhood, as you can see a few houses behind me, and getting this whole park to ourselves, I think, unless I miss somebody. And so this could be your average Thursday right here. Just coming over here, look at these benches, and just enjoying the park. Maybe launching a boat, or maybe not a boat from this particular one, but there is a boat launch just up the road. I just happened to choose one that didn't have it. So this is the bay. It's a different type of water, but as you're noticing here, how calm it is. And it still seems like it goes on forever, although you can see some land over there. This is North Santa Rosa Beach. So as I was kind of mentioning, having access to the Gulf of Mexico, or the beach as most people call it, has its own advantages for sure. It's gorgeous. There's a lot of energy, a lot of action out there. Your friends and family will want to come to visit, you know, because everybody wants to go to the beach. And oh, actually I lied. There is a little bit of a boat ramp here. I'm not sure if you can get a vehicle in here though. Look at this. Hold on. I haven't been to this particular one yet, but look at that. So as I was saying, the Gulf, the beach, as most people call it, you know, it's heavier waves and sand and, of course, the beautiness that everybody knows the Emerald Coast to be. And I'm never going to knock that. I love the beach. But there's a different lifestyle out here that a lot of people aren't even considering. In fact, after helping as many people as we have move to this area, I'm really surprised more people don't ask for this lifestyle. As you can see, we've got These docks right here, these are each attached to a house. And so they're getting out on the water a heck of a lot more than most people that move down here just for the beach. The beach gets crowded, lots of people, it's kind of hard to find a spot. Sometimes it's kind of annoying, especially when you're a local here and you're dealing with it all the time. Sometimes going to the beach, well, it's like gouging out your own eyeballs. Maybe not that aggressive, but you get my point. The cool thing about the bay that we're sitting here in front of, and creeks and other bodies of water, is that you can do different things with it. It's real hard to stick a stand-up paddleboard in the ocean, although you can, especially if you're a little bit more experienced. It's a little bit rockier, it's a little bit more difficult. Here, you can see how calm the water is. It's not quite glass, you can see the waves, but it's definitely a lot more private and a lot more peaceful. And the cool thing is, you can still drive to 30A anytime you want. And in North Santa Rosa Beach, you've also got this pretty big bridge right here. They can take you up north. You want to go visit Freeport, or maybe you're just heading into a different city, you're on to a road trip or something like that, you've got quick access here. So what does your everyday life look like if you're living here in Santa Rosa Beach versus the action that we were just at the beginning of this video? Well, it's calmer, it's peaceful, it's a little bit more quiet. You're generally going to get to know your neighbors more, although that's not to have a knock on 30A, because with 30A you're generally going to get to know your neighbors pretty well as well because you're so close to them. It's not a knock on 30A, it's just part of the infrastructure. So cool thing here is it gives you the lifestyle of being in a beach town and enjoying all of the great outdoors that Florida always has to offer without having some of the tourism and craziness and action that Florida has to offer as well. There's nothing wrong with that, but for some of us, I'm one of these people, I'd rather be able to go visit that when I want to, instead of walking up my front door and having it be forced upon me every single day. As I'm waking up every day, I'm running errands, I'm, heading to work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's kind of nice not to be around all of the hecticness and just look at how peaceful it is. It's pretty nice, right? And the water is just one of many advantages. Let me get in my loaner vehicle here and let me show you one of the other ones. See, when you're visiting 30A, you care more about the beach and the fun and the attractions, the restaurants, the boutiques, all of that great stuff. But when you're actually living somewhere full time, you care about something different. You care about the daily errands a little bit more, and access to healthcare, getting to the office, getting your hair done, getting school supplies. See, 30A is great, but the thing with 30A is it's mostly boutiques. And so finding a nice little grocery store even is a little bit more difficult. You've got some pretty cool things out there, don't get me wrong, but when you need your normal grocery haul, you're gonna have to Instacart it in, or you're gonna have to leave all that action in order to come to a place like Publix in order to get your shopping done. And so there's a little bit of a difference. When you're on 30A, you leave the action so that you can get your errands done, your day-to-day stuff. When you live in a place like Santa Rosa Beach, your day-to-day stuff's right next to you, and you leave the errands and the day-to-day lifestyle so that you can go enjoy the crazy vacation lifestyle. Just a little bit different of a feel, so your day-to-day changes a little bit. By the way, if you guys are watching this and you're pretty close to making a decision within about a year and a half, we've got a 7 home buyer strategies guide that really helps you kind of get ready, get prepped. For those of you that have purchased multiple homes before, this may not be the best for you, but if you are a little bit newer to first, second, maybe even third purchase or something like that, this book is incredible to kind of help you make sure that you're getting the best interest rate, make sure that everything is just in line for you guys to make that next move. So if you guys are interested in that, just reach out to us. You can either comment down below or you can email us. Actually, all of my contact information will be up on the screen. The easiest way would be to shoot us an email. We'll get you that 7 home buyer guide or 7 home buyer strategies workbook out to you. No cost to you guys, of course, as always. At the end of the day, a good way to think about this isn't can I live on 30A? It's what version of living near or on 30A is the best for me. And of course, what lifestyle do I want? If you love the 30A lifestyle, awesome. You can do that multiple ways. You can live in one of those amazing communities. There's over a dozen of them with their own personalities. It's so much fun. We've got a lot of videos on that too. And at no point was I meaning to knock 30A. That wasn't the intent here. The intent here was to show you, but there's a different way to live out there. One of the things that we hear a lot when people are thinking about moving out here is, hey, I would love to live on 30A, but I just can't afford it. Or, the more commonly, I just don't want to spend that kind of money. because to get on 30A, it's going to take several hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even in a small condo on 30A, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know? And if you want a single family home out there, you're looking at 600, 800, a million plus, depending on where you're at. And if you want a view and you want to be kind of close to the action, you don't want to be in the outskirts of 30A, that price tag's kind of going to keep going up with proximity. The closer you are to all the action, the more you're going to pay for that. And then of course for the view and for, you know, just everything. If you're near all of the fun stuff that you envisioned when you were here vacationing, well, it's going to cost you a little bit more. And so for the people that want to be on 30A, they want the walkability and the restaurants and the beach access and biking and golf carts and just everything that 30A has to offer. Awesome. But for other people that just want to be able to visit that from time to time and then go back to their little haven retreat, Santa Rosa Beach is an incredible option, especially because it's up and coming. It is moving. It is, there's a lot of land out here to be built. So it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger over time. Now it's going to take decades for that, I'm sure, but it's still going to be a different lifestyle. And so stuff like we showed you in today's video, where the day-to-day life, your Monday through Friday, is so much easier in a place like Santa Rosa Beach than it is in 30A, unless you're retired, unless you're just living the dream all the time. Then I'm envious of you. That's awesome. Go out to 30A, enjoy it. Just make sure you give us a call first. So in our next video, I need to prep you guys for this. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and ding that bell. It will notify you when we do the next video, and next week's video is a good one. I've already shot it, so I already did a sneak peek. In fact, I'm probably going to show you guys some stuff here in the videos as I'm talking, or here in this video while I'm talking, a little sneak preview. But I wanted to show you guys exactly what I meant by this video saying, hey, you don't need to be near 30A to enjoy 30A lifestyle. We've got a house for you that is over an acre big, and it's on the water. It's got easy access to the bay. It's got its own creek, its own dock. It's got so much going on, and I want to show you guys that because that's the type of lifestyle that you have up here in the northern side of Santa Rosa Beach versus being on the southern side over there in 30A. So if you're trying to figure out which part of the Emerald Coast fits you best, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding that bell so that you'll be notified when this next video comes out. And of course, if you don't want to wait and you want to see some more houses, or you want to see houses, because in this video we didn't show houses directly, but you want to see a few, then there will be a playlist right here curated just for you so that you can see some of the properties here on the Emerald Coast. I do videos every single week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll see you guys next week at 4 p.m. See ya.